For those of you that I don't know, and I think I know everybody here, I'm Patricia Blake, the director of the QQA. And I'd also like to point out my colleague, Shelley Stormo. She's our events and membership coordinator. And I always want to know and thank the support that we get to put the preservation conversations on. We have a grant this year from the Arkansas Humanities Council, National Endowment for the Humanities. We also have a grant to support this from the Quapaw Nation. And we also have an anonymous gift in honor of Carl Miller that supports the grant. And I also want to thank our friends at Cromwell because they help subsidize us the use of this space, which we find wonderful. And I'm not going to read them all, but we have our corporate sponsors, our partners, as well as our landmark members right by the door when you came in, so take a look at that. And again, as I do at every single preservation conversation, every single event, if you're not a member of the QQA, we invite you to join. You can join for as little as $35. I'm really pleased to introduce our speaker tonight, and I want to also acknowledge that they are helping me out of a bind because originally we had AEDQ lined up to help us with this talk. So our gentleman tonight, Russ Craig, is not the person who was in the brochure. AEDQ pulled out, and a friend of mine recommended that I reach out to this firm, the firm that Russ is part of, and they said, sure, well, we'd be happy to help out. So let me tell you a little bit about our speaker tonight, Russ Craig. And again, thank his firm, Home Energy RX, for helping us out in a short notice. Russ Craig was born and raised in Arkansas. He got an early start building, remodeling, and rehabilitating homes. A trim carpenter by trade, Russ has a knack for details, which has served him well in his career. In 2006, Russ partnered with Central Arkansas Development Council to assess low-income housing for weatherization needs and serving underserved. In 2008, he worked with Southwest Arkansas Development Council to provide quality assurance for their weatherization program. Russ has worked with Home Energy RX for 6 years and has conducted approximately 10,000, does that sound right? Home energy assessments. He's a Building Performance Institute rated building analyst, ResNet HERS rater, which I don't know what that means, so I'll have to explain that to us, and a level 1 infrared thermographer. So let's welcome Russ. And I'll just add to this too. We thought this timing of this was good, especially now that it's getting so cold.
Yes.
So here we go.
Thank you, Patricia. Thank everyone for coming out. 30 minutes ago, I was crawling around in our house trying to fix a thermostat. Things are moving up, I can tell. I'd like to just talk a little bit about the Energy Solution Program and what it does. The Public Service Commission has mandated that the utility companies make incentives available for their clients to improve the efficiency of their homes. And Home Energy RX is a trade ally, which we have contracted for them to perform energy audits on the house, and then we come in and we also do various things to the house to make it more efficient. So how it works is when we come into the house, we usually ask for your utility bills, which is probably the best tool one of the best tools that I have as far as to tell what the problems are, any red flags going on with the house. And then we do what we call pressure diagnostics. And this is where we set up a floor door and the front door. It's a frame, has a red canvas, large fan at the bottom. The first test we do blows air outward, which pulls air in the house wherever you have leaks. So it quantifies how leaky the structure is as a whole. Now, I've done quite a few audits in the Saltwater area, and I don't have to tell you guys that your homes probably leak a tremendous amount of air. It's just how they were built in those days, the construction methods, and the building materials that we use. Pre-plywood days, a lot of planks, which means a lot of seams, which means a lot of leaks. So they're quite challenging to seal up as far as air infiltration goes. But the utility companies also offer attic insulation, sealing up the ductwork, which is a huge energy loss if your duct system is leaking. And we also test the ductwork as well. We'll pressurize it to see how much leaks out, and we can give you a percent leakage of the duct system. Now this is all free. There's no cost to you whatsoever. Now they're not going to replace your duct system if it's rusted out or something like that. What they do pay for is us to come in, test it, see how much it leaks, and then we are paid according to how much we reduce that leakage. So they also offer a Ecobee thermostat. It's Wi-Fi capable, Alexa enabled if you like that kind of stuff. To enroll you in their demand response program. Anybody ever heard of the demand response program? Got one of those. So during peak hours, or peak kilowatt usage for 4 months, they can take control of the thermostat and actually raise the temperature of the house by 4 degrees. Before they do that, they'll do a 2-degree pre-cool. So it doesn't go up a net of 2 degrees. And since the thermostat is connected to the internet, Entergy servers know the temperature inside the house, so they don't let it get very hot. Once it hits that 2-degree mark, they'll kick on and start running. They have a similar program where they just put a box out on the outside unit and it just killed the power to the outside unit. And the house got as hot as it got. People were calling HVAC companies out there, where it was working, charge a service call, what have you. But this is a much better way to control that. It's just a way that Entergy manages electricity. So the program is a fantastic program. We initially come in and do the assessment. It takes a couple hours to do it, depending on how many heating and cooling systems you have. And let's see, I think that just about covers the process. How many in here have crawl spaces in their house? Almost everybody. Anybody on the slab? You're on a concrete slab. You? How many people in here, the houses are built before 1930? Okay. Anybody know what knob and tube wiring is? Got some seasoned homeowners in here.
We had a talk about that a while ago.
Yeah. So you can't insulate all that, but we can certainly come in there and make a difference to the house. But it is difficult. Where do you think most of your air leakage comes from? Where? That's the most important one. The building science teaches us to seal the crawl space and the attic as far as the air goes. Now these older homes, you don't have wall insulation. Anybody know what balloon framing is? Ah, wow. So these houses leak a lot of air. It is a challenge to seal them up to keep them from leaking. I have found the best way to do that is foam the crawl space and encapsulate the attic with foam. You kind of put your stopper in both ends of the house, and then you don't lose as much air. Then you address the outside walls. So it's a great program. It's doesn't cost a penny for you guys to for the assessment. Yes, ma'am.
Can you say the program's name one more time?
Entergy Solutions is the name of the program. I've got some brochures down here and things that you guys can take. But that's basically it. I'd like to open up to any questions anybody has. Yes, sir.
Did you say spray foam the attic?
Yes, we're moving toward encapsulating. One of the worst things we do in this part of the country is we put our duct systems in wet, nasty crawl spaces and 150-degree attics. Okay. We're getting away from that. The building science is leading us away from that. So when you encapsulate an attic, you don't ventilate this attic. You foam it. Foam everything. Foam up all the ventilation. Spray about 8 inches of foam on 10 inches of foam on the bottom of the roof decking. So the heat never actually comes in the house. It stops there at the roof decking instead of penetrating through the shingles and then creating a 150-degree environment in your ductwork, in your attic.
Russ, do you ever have an issue with moisture, like the wood rotting under the foam, or is that not an issue?
They make two kinds of foam. They make a half-pound foam and they make a 2-pound foam. Now, it's called closed cell and open cell foam. Now, we always spray an open cell foam against the roof decking because water will actually go through that. And then if you have a roof leak or something, then you know it. But with the closed cell, it is a moisture barrier and an air barrier. So water won't go through it. So if you spray the closed cell against the roof decking and you got a leak, for example, you never know until it practically fell. Foam's a great product. It's the way building science is headed right now. It's just a superior way to insulate.
What about your ductwork? Do you foam around that?
Actually, a couple of years ago, they allowed, they changed the code where we can actually put the foam on the ductwork itself. So you can spray 1 inch of closed cell foam on the ductwork, and it doesn't come off or fall off or rot off like the old style, the old fiberglass stuff. It's just a much better, it just holds up from this point on. I mean, you can't get it off unless you have a chill there. So it's a fantastic product.
So that seals the ductwork?
It seals it and insulates it.
Is that hard to do?
I'm sorry.
Is that hard to do, to spray it all the way around it?
It takes, yeah, it is. It takes a special machine, takes a big long tray full of equipment to, but yeah, there is quite a bit of overspray trying to spray around objects, for sure. But it's a fantastic way to seal up the ductwork. Yes, sir.
Do you know if North Little Rock Electric offers anything similar?
I'm sorry?
Do you know if North Little Rock Electric offers anything similar?
If North Little Rock Electric does what now?
Offers anything similar?
Oh, you know, they had a program there for a while. Are you at North Little Rock?
Sure, the North Little Rock.
You're not Entergy?
No.
Yeah. So you have Centerpoint gas?
Yes.
Okay, then we can do it. We can do it for you. So, there's a lot of, Entergy's got the territory kind of winds in and out around. It's really hard to tell what the territory is, but North Little Rock, if you have Centerpoint gas, we can do it. So the Centerpoint gas and Entergy has come together and they're both contributing to this program. It started in 2012. Yes, ma'am.
What's the most horrific stuff you've seen?
Oh my God. Oh. Well, you see some really bad, you see some really bad heating and cooling, people that have no business doing ductwork,
Yeah.
and they don't, I mean, it's just some atrocious things we see. But I would say that your ductwork is probably, if you're losing energy, a lot of air out there, that's the biggest energy loss that you can have. Now, insulating the attic would come number 2 as far as importance. Now, most people, when I come into their house, the first thing they say is just my doors and windows. My doors and windows, every time. I'm not every time, but most of the time. And it's really not. The most important air sealing is done in the attic and crawl space. Especially with these older homes, especially if they are multi-story. Because we have something in building science called stack effect. And basically what that means is that a pressure plane moves inside the house, depending on the temperature. And the more stories you have, the more movement you have. So, and building science is really simple. It really is. And you guys already know it. Okay? You already know what I'm about to tell you. And there's 3 tenets of building science. The first one is high temperatures move toward cooler temperatures. Okay? So in the summer, when it's 75 in your house and it's 95 outside, that heat's trying to get in your house in every way it can. All right, that's the first one. The second one is moisture moves toward dryness. Okay? So when that crawl space is wet and your house is dry, that moisture is trying to move into your home. And the last one is high pressure moves to low pressure. Just like when you stick a nail in your tire, that high pressure moves out, moves toward, leaks out. That's it. And that's how we apply building science to a home. We call it the whole house approach. But that's, so you guys already knew that stuff, didn't you? Yes, ma'am.
How about the fireplaces in the older homes and the chimney, that are non-existent, but it still is in the house?
You mean the chimney's been taken down below the roof?
In one room, yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Well, again, hot temperatures will seek the cooler temperatures, so heat will go down a chimney. In the summer, heat will go down your chimney and into your house if it's cooler inside your house. Remember, high temperatures go to lower temperatures. So if you need to keep your damper shut on don't have a damper, if you've terminated the use of the fireplace, you can just go in there and seal it up with some type of, any kind of material, if you're not gonna burn anything in it. So a lot of times, that's another thing we do when we set the floor door up. What we're doing is we're putting the house into a negative pressure, is what we're doing. So the floor door replicates a 20-mile-an-hour wind hitting your house in all directions, is what it replicates. It's like the old attic fans that we used to. I was raised on attic fan. But it works in the same principle. It sucks air out of the house, which tries to pull air in the house wherever it can. And in your case, if your fireplace is open inside the attic, it's going to be pouring out there into the house. So that would be a good opportunity to seal the air.
Someone suggested the fireplace balloons, and that has really helped.
Fireplace balloons are fine, but they are used in a fireplace that has a damper that has, so if you have a real fireplace, a real brick fireplace, and the damper is built into it, and it's damaged or rusted, it's just about impossible to fix that, to fix the one inside of there. But a balloon is used to be able to remove it, burn a fire, and put it back in there. That's what it's designed to do. But they make some, Woodland Direct is a website, they make some really good dampers that mount on top, and they have a chain that comes down inside the box, and they have a little L bracket that mounts on the side of the firebox, and you just pull it down and hang it, and it's shut. They work really good, and they're not like $100. So we've used those in the past, but they're fantastic.
What did you say the name of that site was?
Woodland Direct. Woodland Direct, yes. They'll tell you how to measure them. They're made out of aluminum, and they just hinge like that. They got a very good seal on them, actually, and they're slanted where water runs off of them. So they're a good alternative to seal up the fireplace, because that is a problem, especially older homes. Is your fireplace very deep?
No.
It's shallow.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably had a gas log in it at one time or something.
It does now, it was all wood.
Do you still use the gas? Sir?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, ma'am, that would work. So the flue does penetrate the roof through the roof. Yeah, that would be ideal for you. And they're pretty easy to install. They just basically silicone down, and put a couple screws on top of the flue, and the chain comes down inside the firebox. Yes, ma'am.
What do you see wrong in new houses and in brand new construction? What's going wrong in there?
Well, I have a HERS rating, which means that we do projected ratings on a house. I can take the house plan and then I can lay it out there and we can plug it into the software and it'll project what the utilities will be. But as far as what we're seeing in new houses now, we're trying to make new houses like a submarine. Okay? We're trying to make them airtight. And then we have a device called an ERV that exchanges the air from inside the house. So what this does, a house needs a certain amount of air changes an hour, otherwise you could have humidity issues. And as far as your question about the newer homes, we're building them so tight now that its moisture has become a problem.
Inside?
I've seen ceilings black with houses that are too tight. And what's happening is the heating and cooling industry, and these are these foam houses as well, the heating and cooling industry has not caught up with how to size the air conditioning. They're oversizing air conditioning. The worst thing that you can do is oversize an air conditioner in a tight house. It will cause all kinds of moisture problems you would not believe. So the code has come out where they're making them introduce an outside duct to the outside and bring it into the return air where your heating and cooling unit ties. Because they're having a lot of problems. They have a lot of lawsuits is what they're having. And even the code officers are having a hard, they're still finding their way around this. It's a fairly new thing. The houses are I don't say too tight, but they're so tight that it's definitely causing moisture problems, especially if you're a heating air guy. Anybody ever heard of a manual J calculation? Load calculation, manual J load calculation? Okay. If you're going to get a heating and cooling unit, do not buy one without it. This is a piece of software that is designed to size your heating and cooling unit to your house. Now, in the past, most heating and cooling HVAC contractors will, if your unit goes out, they will put in whatever size that you have there now, or maybe a little bigger, or something of this nature. But this piece of software is designed to size a unit properly to a house. It's the only way to do it. Yes, ma'am.
What is going on with a window that has a lot of moisture that causes your paint to go on in an area?
Single pane windows,
Yes, sir.
sweating on the inside?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when natural gas burns, it puts off several different kind of products. The first one is water. Okay. So in the winter, when your panes are cold, that water will condensate. It happens in the winter, right? Yeah. The moisture will condensate on that glass pane. It's just like when you walk outside in the sun with a cold glass of water. You know how it sweats? That's what's happening. That water is condensating on that cold surface.
On that one window.
It's just one window? Oh, okay. Well, bathroom,
Bedroom,
single pane, wood, it's a wooden single pane?
original windows, yes. Single.
Well, the reason that it's sweating is there's moisture. And the moisture in that, moisture in your house is what it is. And we have moisture in our house all over the place. I mean, when you wash dishes, when you do all the clothes, when you take showers, all that stuff puts moisture in the air. And moisture will condensate on a cold surface. And usually glass gets really cold in the winter, especially single glass stuff.
Does your program cover commercial properties?
This program does not. Entity does have some lighting incentives through their, I think it's called their Smart Grid, Grid Smart program, where they'll come in and change all your incandescents to LEDs. That's a big savings. LED lighting is a savings. Okay. Yes, sir.
I'll say I did sign up for that program this year, and it took a little while, but I did get a new Ecobee thermostat installed for free. So I'm very glad that we signed on to that program. And just a little tip that I heard was that the energy program, yeah, they'll lower your thermostat, but if you want to work around, you can actually lower your thermostat before they do that, and it will.
Yeah.
Put it at that. So you can kind of cheat your way around it. But
You
but what I want to say was, we didn't realize our humidity issues in our house. My house was built in 1930, and we didn't realize our humidity issues in our house until we got that Ecobee installed, and it kept sending us warnings that our humidity was 71% or more.
Wow, that's
regularly. And during the summertime when the air conditioning is running, and during the winter time, like right now when the heater's running, but it's not an issue. But kind of that in between fall and spring season, we get regular high humidity, and I think a big issue is our crawl space. I had one of those crawl space people come by and take a look at our crawl space, and we're kind of down a hole. And he told me, he said, "I'm not often surprised, but you have a really bad crawl space." We're kind of down in a hole, so we get a lot of moisture. So this summer I came in and put in a French drain system around the perimeter, trying to get some of the water away from the exterior. But this winter I want to go under there and put at least like a 15 mil vapor barrier. And I'm kind of trying to figure out where I need to draw the line. Do I just need to put down a vapor barrier on the ground, or do I need to look at try to take it up the sides, put some insulation on the sides, and still have a crawl space? And can I even do that
You can.
as a homeowner? Do I have the ability to do that, or does that need to be freshly done and have somebody seal all the gaps up?
Encapsulation, we call that crawl space encapsulation, and I'm one of those guys too, we do that as well. So if you're on the right track there, you gotta get rid of that bulk water first.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta get rid of that, or try to mitigate it as much as you can. Crawl space encapsulation is a fantastic way. Usually when we get called in for that is when we see hardwood floors are cupping, or the edges raised. We see that a lot, or they're having 71% humidity is extremely high in the house. And this past summer has been one of the worst ones as far as really is just a dehumidifier. It just cools the air as a byproduct. Now, these two-stage air conditioning units are unbelievable at removing humidity. They run at a lower capacity, and they just and not only that, they don't start and stop as much as your single-stage units. Your unit uses most of the electricity starting and stopping. But these two-stage unit runs at a lower capacity. They'll run at 60, 70% capacity, but they'll be running a lot more. They won't ever shut off, which removes humidity. You may need a good air conditioning tune-up. I always recommend that on the, and Entergy also incentivizes that as well. They have a cool saver AC tune-up, they call it. And they pay $175 per unit to do that. And I always highly recommend that because I can show you some pictures on my laptop of some coils that we found that were scary. They look like carpet.
Actually, I mean, our AC went out this summer in August. We almost made it, but our AC went out so it's actually a brand new AC unit. What's it, 16 SEER unit, which is I guess is pretty baseline for it.
Yeah, 14 series is minimum now.
Yeah.
But yeah, 16 series is a good range. Did you still have a humidity after that?
No, when the air conditioner's running, it's fine in the summertime, but it's like kind of when we got into September and October when it cooled down enough where it wasn't kicking on as much because the temperature was okay.
And you
Then
still
that's
have
when our
humidity.
humidity issue
I think you're on the right track as far as your crawl space encapsulation. And sure, you can do it, but just we close up the foundation vents when we encapsulate.
Yeah.
And it's always good to put a dehumidifier under there, and they're called crawl space dehumidifiers. And they have a pump on them, and they'll pump, the smallest ones pump 70 pints a day. So they'll take a lot of water out of there. But if you're going to close up your foundation vents, you definitely need to put a dehumidifier under there.
I guess that was my question. Is there any sort of middle ground on that, where you can put down a vapor barrier to try and keep that moisture coming up from the ground, but maybe you still keep air circulating underneath that crawl space?
Yes. That's what we see in most houses. A good vapor barrier, even if it's not taped or sealed up or run up the wall, will help you.
Mine's all wadded up in one corner.
Yeah, that's where we usually see them. Yeah. But yeah, get you a good heavy meal visqueen, lay it down. It would be better if you taped it up, but I mean, it takes a lot of time to do that. You got a pretty tight crawl space?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes it a
That
lot
definitely
better.
doesn't help either.
So what about the windows?
Ma'am?
What about windows? You've talked about.
Windows don't have a very good payback. I usually don't recommend replacing those. Now, these older homes have a ton of windows in them, and they're big. And they are big. There is, you just got a little thin piece of glass between you and the outside. That's a big energy loss. I know you guys are pretty restricted as far as what kind of window that you can put in a home. Is that right?
Right, I mean, certainly if you're in within the historic district, if you're going for tax credits, you would not be able to get rehabilitation tax credits if you replace the windows. We always recommend, tightening up your windows, getting them reglazed, and then using a storm window.
So sort of window.
Yeah,
That's
because
good.
they allow, that's usually permitted.
What about a real wooden double pane window? I know.
I would say that if your original windows are not there, then you could look at a replacement, or if the original windows are so heavily deteriorated, you can look at a replacement like that. And there have even been windows, Griswold will put a double glazed pane in the original sash to give them a little bit higher insulation value
Sure.
too, depending on how heavy your sash or your muttons are in your sash. So there are some opportunities, but usually if you have a window well, seated in the sash well seated in the frame, that is usually, you can get a good tight
depends on how the condition, let me just clarify that, the condition of your existing window has a lot to do with it. So if you had, say, if I go into a house and you have a double pane aluminum window that's in the 80s, and they're gonna say, I'm gonna put, and the new vinyl windows are definitely more more efficient, and the reason they are is that the frame is vinyl. So aluminum conducts heat and cold a lot more than, say, a vinyl frame does. So, and people like the look of them. They tilt in, What's the guy that sells the windows? The Ray, what's the news guy? Channel 7 guy? Yeah.
And I'll add to that too, that one product that I've been seeing more and more improved is they're making more and more films that you can put on your glass that will radiate. If you got a lot of south-facing windows, and they're doing a lot better on some of those products where you don't even know the whole glass, but they really cut down on the radiant heat of the glass. So.
Low E glass is called.
Yeah,
low E
glass,
is
yeah.
what it's called. It is a fantastic.
Well,
glass.
there's low E glass, but there's also 3M has some films that you can apply to existing glass that put on there as well.
Is that okay?
I would say typically it is, and often if it's on the interior, you don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something you can do without even, if you're in an area that has to be reviewed.
But, I've had people, quite a few people that they'll have a chair by a window, and they will swear to me, Russ, that air is blowing right through that window, and I tell you what, it's coming through there like crazy, and it's really not. So what you're feeling there is something, it's convection is what it is. And again, we're back to our tenets of our building science. Hot temperatures move toward cooler temperatures. So typically heat will stay inside of the house, but it seeks a cooler temperature. So it rolls over here and it hits that cool wind, and what does it do? It drops. And then she feels that cold air, or he feels that cold air blowing. But it's really not coming from the window. It's coming from the air moving. See there, I told you it was just 3 things. Yes, ma'am.
I have an attic fan in my house, and I've never had one before, and I don't really know how it works or anything like that.
Well, that's what we have for air conditioning back in our
When the window's open and it just pulls the air in, it's like a breeze constantly in the house.
Okay.
And most people have gotten away from that because they don't want to pull it. And when it gets nice outside, or you burn something in the kitchen and grate, you can just turn it on, open the window, and suck it out there. But a lot of people are taking their screens off their windows now. You don't see too many, And so you pull air in from the outside, pollen, dirt, stuff like that. People don't like that anymore. Or they, in general. But I like to see that. Yes, sir.
I'm fixated on my crawl space, I apologize, but my father-in-law, he's an electrician, and he gave me a crawl space fan that has a humidity, I guess thermostat, that when it detects the humidity certain higher.
Is that the one that mounts in the foundation?
It what now?
It mounts in the foundation?
Yes, yeah, it'll pull air out. My fear is it'll just be running all the time because I have such a humidity problem. But if that's a combination with putting a vapor barrier and running that up the sides and trying to mitigate some of that humidity, that moisture coming into the crawl space, but then maybe doing that vent fan that will pull air out when it does get too high. Is that a good combination?
Those mount in the foundation vent, right? So here's what happens when you're blowing air out, it's going to suck air into the hot, humid air from the outside in the summer.
Yeah.
It's going to suck hot, humid air through the other vents.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not. I don't think you're really gaining anything there. If you're going to do anything, you could put you a fan down there just to stir the air up.
Yeah.
Put it on a timer or something, let it run, 30 minutes a day or something. But if you get air, most houses, especially these old ones, don't have proper foundation, enough foundation vents. So in other words, if it could breathe better, or you get some air movement down there, it's going to dry out better.
Yeah.
So I would
think that was the
recommend.
intention, but you're right, there's not enough foundation bit, so it doesn't happen like that. Not like
Right.
moisture and mold.
And we see, flower beds built up against them, which causes a lot of water. We see, causes water to get in them and things like that. But yeah, if you stir the air up, it's going to dry it out better. Now, I've always been looking for a good fan to put under there. I've really never found house over here in Pleasant Valley that the lady we called in her Ford was company. And, we put a dehumidifier down there and got just about all of it out. But, we had to go in there and put a fan under there to, stir it up just a little bit more. But it was a 3,500 square foot house, so it was a big problem. And, we just need, yes, sir?
Was she sitting on a wet weather spring?
I don't know.
They got them out in
It was,
Pleasant
it was
Valley.
pretty dry in there.
That's all real estate.
We've seen some wells on the houses.
Wet weather spring. You gonna get some moisture.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Let's see. I think it was Bologna up there. There's a lot of clay up there. It seems like the water in Jacksonville, Arkansas. It seems like the ground is just saturated when it rains. But anyway, anybody else? I don't know what those ag. Have you used your much? Have you used it much?
I mean, it works, so occasionally I'll like switch it on and be like, wow, it's really loud, and then turn it off.
Not getting any benefit from that, huh? We got crack the window open, you'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. Back, yes, ma'am.
In our 1902 house, the floor is insulated and the attic is insulated, but the walls are not. And in the kitchen, I have new cabinets, but this time of year, I open up the drawers to get something out, and I have to microwave the plates
It's
before I
cold.
can use them. Yeah, it's like opening up a refrigerator,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
opening up the cabinets.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Really, the only way to insulate walls on a house, and it sounds like you remodel your kitchen, you certainly not to do it. You can do it from the outside, or you can do it from the inside. Now, if you have brick, you can't do it from the outside.
Well, it's wood, but
Okay. So we dense pack walls with cellulose. So what we do is, you can either remove a strip of siding, or you can drill holes between every stud, which is a lot of holes.
I know,
And
this
the
is
windows
so,
and back up.
yeah.
And then we run a hose up in there and we dense pack it with cellulose, insulation. And we dense pack it to 3.5 pounds an inch, and that's hard. So air doesn't move through that. So I've seen it reduce the air leakage in these older homes quite dramatically.
I don't think I would live long enough to see the cost benefits.
Well, it probably costs more to fix the holes than it would us blow insulation. Because,
You do see that sometimes on historic homes,
yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't look good.
it just has to be, yeah, little.
So if you can take a piece of siding out, it looks a lot better. But,
Because of the fire stops. You know.
have to do
in
over
the
and under
walls,
those.
there are all these fire stops, so you can't shoot the insulation down from the attic into the.
No, ma'am. You have to, yes, ma'am. You have to drill a lot of holes.
Yeah.
We've done it a few times. It really works best on the inside because it's not nearly as hard to repair. I mean,
Yeah, we've already.
we grew up with that.
We've already been there.
Yeah, it makes an unbelievable mess. I mean, yes, sir.
What about insulation on the underside between your joists? I can walk through my house and feel where the insulation is still there and where it's not in my crawl space.
So,
And,
yeah.
Does that cause moisture issues, like moisture building up between the insulation and the decking there?
Yeah, the fiberglass absorbs moisture, mildews down the side, mold down the side. We've taken, we took taken so much out, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So it's really better just to encapsulate, insulate your crawl space than it is to try to insulate the underside.
Yes. And that manual J load calculation, that piece of software I was telling you, we can build a house in that computer, and I can add floor insulation or remove it. It does not affect the heating and cooling load of your house in this part of the country.
It's colder than feet though.
Yeah, that's what people tell me. But you can spray a 2-bar foam on the bottom of that floor and be done with it.
Yeah,
That's another way to seal the moisture from coming up from the crawl as well.
but it helps itself.
It's a less expensive way to do it. Encapsulation is gonna be $5 a foot.
Yeah.
A true encapsulation, it's expensive. Okay.
I got a quote for $15,000 to encapsulate my crawl space.
How big is your house?
It's a 17, it's a back part's 2-story, so it's about 14,000.
What's
Or
the
1,400 square feet.
the bottom?
Yeah, the bottom, yeah, the first floor.
Oh, it must be
13,
tight
1400.
over.
It what now?
Must be tight under there.
It's tight, and there's some bad insulation, or bad ductwork, locations, and getting around to certain spots, and it's tight.
Yeah, sometimes we have to They built these older homes low to the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that, maybe to save a little bit of material, I guess. I don't know why, they ought to be illegal. Because, it causes all kind of problems.
When you're spraying the crawl space, would you use the closed cell phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Close cell phone in the bottom. Whenever there's a moisture area, and it has an R7 per inch that the enclosed cell phone does. So, if you build a new house now, you're supposed to put an R19 in the bottom of the floor. It still requires it as part of the code. So, you have to blow, say, 3 inches of the closed cell phone to give you this equivalent R value.
And my take has been that the problem with the closed cell phone is that if you do get any moisture in there somehow, it's got nowhere to go, so it just builds up on the wood. Unless you put baffles in there, and you put baffles between your floor joist, or in your attic, you put baffles between your rafters up there to allow air circulation on the backside of the sheet, and then spray foam on that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but whatever moisture is in the wood, when you spray it, yes, it will dry out eventually, because that side will be exposed to the house. The top side, I mean, it'll eventually dry out. You'd be surprised how much these dehumidifiers will, how much moisture they'll pull out of the house, out of the wood. Especially, say, your house, for example, that's been exposed to moisture underneath that house for a long time. The wood has absorbed quite a bit of moisture, so, yeah, we've seen them pump water out for years.
We bought a dehumidifier in the spring, and it ran pretty constantly during the spring. The summer it cut off because the AC was taking all the water out. And this fall, it just pretty much ran nonstop. I mean, I was dumping water out every day, and it's finally cut off where it's not running as much because we're running the heater and it's a lot drier now. So, man, those fall and spring months, it was really humid in our house. And
Yeah, 71%.
yeah, I mean, that 71, 73, 75, it was getting pretty high.
You know, usually air conditioners struggle to get it to 50%, but 50% is what makes us comfortable. That's what we like. And if you get your humidity down to 50%, 75 degrees, you feel like it's freezing.
Yeah.
So this is why those new two-stage variable speed units shine. They'll get that moisture down. Because when we feel uncomfortable, the humidity is what makes us feel uncomfortable. When we feel uncomfortable, we're going to go over there and turn the thermostat down. Yes, sir.
So this may sound a little dumb or ignorant or naive, but so we've got some foundation issues within our crawl space. How does that contribute to saving or losing heating and cooling?
Foundation issue?
Yeah.
What kind of foundation?
It's a crawl space.
Okay. Is your house settling?
It's still, it's 1958 mid-century range, it's still settling.
It's on so you have a crawl, and it's got dirt down there. So tell me about the settling.
We purchased it, and when it rains pretty steadily, we can notice movement in that. I mean, we can't feel it, but we notice the movement in the house. It doesn't have any gutters on. It doesn't have any gutters on the house, but so we know also that water is getting underneath our crawl space in some ways somehow.
It's getting inside the crawl.
Yes, it's getting inside the crawl.
Okay. How close are your foundation mats to the ground? So this is the first thing I'll look
About maybe, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, maybe 6 inches.
Okay. Since your house doesn't have gutters on that, so a lot of times we see a lot of rain falling off the roof. And we build flower beds up, and next thing you know, you got water, and that water level can run in there. That would be the first thing I would suspect. Like this gentleman said back here, you could definitely have some, water just seeping in through the ground. It could come in like that. But if it's raining and you notice it, then it's probably some kind of bulk water problem. So it could be. I mean, are you on the side of the hill or anything?
Yeah, basically our house is kind of dips down into into a hill. So
Okay.
we're kind of on top of a knoll, maybe not really a hill, but.
Well, I've been in houses that are, so your house is kind of split level? It's like low in front, high in back?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so water tends to run downhill?
Yes.
And it'll run against the house, and we see it. I've been under houses where I can see the hill goes down like that, and I'm seeing it actually permeating through the soil. So it could be coming in like that, but if you're on the hill, I would be looking on that high side, foundation vents first. Now, they make it well, they call it a foundation vent well, and you can buy these at Home Depot, but they're just a half circle, and you just dig down in front of your foundation vent, and stick it down in there. It's just basically to keep the water from getting in there. But I would be looking at that first. Okay. Now, what was your question about you said, is it hurting the efficiency?
Yes. How does that hurt the efficiency?
Well, again, moisture moves toward dryness. So if that moisture is under your house, it's going to try to come into the house through any way that it can. So that makes your air conditioner work harder. The more moisture is in your house, the more harder your air conditioner works. And of course, if it's settling, that's going to create cracks. Your doors sticking, anything like that?
Doors aren't sticking. It just.
They're not closing.
Yeah, some of them aren't closing.
Okay.
When we bought the house, we were told, don't be worried. This isn't an emergency, but just keep your eye on but just keep an eye on the settling and moving of the house, because you're may have these issues in the future. So.
Are you a little wrong?
Sure would.
Okay, that's fine. Well, we can certainly take a look at it. It costs us anything for us to come over there and do the assessments. And then we look under the house. Is your duct system under there?
No, it's in the attic. That's a whole nother story. That is a whole nother story.
Yeah, we take a look at that. We inspect, we do a visual inspection of the ductwork, central heat and air. We also do some, we are all certified combustion compliance zones technicians, so we look for any kind of carbon monoxide problems that could be occurring in the house, signs or symptoms that we see. So, yeah, safety is a big thing for us. I brought a bunch of brochures down here, business cards. Take a look at that.
Well, this has been illuminating and kind of scary, I don't know.
Kind of scary.
Kind of scary, all the things we didn't look for. Well, I want to say thank you very much to Russ, and Russ, I give everyone a little token of appreciation, which is this lovely orchid and an awesome QQA t-shirt. So people know that you're sensitive to historic property. So we're almost wrapping up our year, our first full year of preservation conversations, or monthly ones, I should say, right? And the next one that we're going to have will be here on Thursday, December 12th, and it's going to be Dr. John Kirk, who is at UALR. He's the George W. Donaghy Distinguished Professor of History and Director of the Anderson Institute on Race and Ethnicity. And the topic of his conversation is race and housing, how urban renewal changed the landscape of Little Rock. And of course, QQA was born out of urban renewal and those big highway projects, so it's very relevant to us, and I think we still see factors of that in today's landscape. And I would like to say also, we are getting geared up for next year's preservation conversations. So Shelley, we've lined up the speakers, and Shelley's putting together the brochure, and one of our speakers is here, Sarah Vestal, is going to talk about Vestal Flores, so that's exciting. And so we're going to be hopefully getting those out in the mail before the end of the year, obviously, and maybe we'll have it for probably won't have it for next month's preservation conversation, but we're working on it. And then the other thing I'll mention, again, because I know you all want to be members of the QQA, is that we're having our members-only reception at the Kemp's house this year on January 23rd. They live in the historic Redding House, which is lovely. It was on the tour a few years ago, and they have amazing woodwork in that house. It's wonderful. So another temptation or an incentive to become a member of the QQA. So again, thank you all very much. Certainly take a look at the stuff that Russ brought so you can get his contact information and the programs that he mentioned. So thank you all very much for coming.